Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about something very important and I ask you to learn that by yourself at the beginning of the class. It's about how to import and export VMs. It's very good feature for the Hyper-V and we need to use it as a part of the Hyper-V usage in our lab, so I'm going to talk about it shortly. Any VM that you created on the Hyper-V, you have the ability to export it. When you export it, technically it will copy the VM and will save it for you as a file. Then that VM, we can use it to import it again when we need to import it again, and then we can actually reuse that VM. So we'll have like a copy paste of the VM. It's very useful, and this is how I actually do it for all the labs and for all your machines. I create a VM on my machine, I set it up, and then I just distribute it to you guys. So in our example, and this is what you guys will do a lot in the next coming lab, how to create, import the VM. So it's very critical you guys understand the skill. I'm not going to talk about a lot about the export, but it's very straightforward. You pick up the VM that you want to export. Good. There is an option here called export. You put the location, you click next, done. The VM is stored somewhere else. Good. So for me, I already exported two VMs and I saved them on your computer. I saved them on the network. So the two VMs are currently saved on the C drive. Here is the C drive and the VMs. It's called exported VMs. So the VMs on your machine are sorted under the folder called exported VMs. Good. You find one for the VC, one for the server. So these I already done and I have exported and they are ready for your usage. So now I'm going to import that VM. So I'm going to import a PC now. Good. So I'll just go here under import virtual machine. Next, it will tell me where is the VM. I will go to the folder, which is the C drive exported VMs, PC master. I don't go inside any of those folders. I just go to the PC master. I click select. Next, it will show me the VM that are available in that folder and what the date and what the time it was done. Click next. He will tell me, do you want to import it exactly on the same location and override the same location, or restore, repair the current VM, or copy it as a new unique ID, as a new VM. So for your usage, you guys usage will use the copy as a new VM because we need to add a new server as part of our work. So I'm adding a new PC here in this example, but you might need to add a new server. And I click next. Now this is the critical part, where to save it. And I noticed that some of you guys are causing a lot of mess in their VM folders. So we would prefer to save it on the PC /VMs. Good. But you see my folder? My folder, I have a special folder for every VM. Good. You guys are storing them in the VM folder directly without adding that special subfolder for every VM, which cause all the files, all the hard disk, all the reports, all the log are mixed. And then when you want to delete a VM, it's very complicated to delete the VM. While now for me, if I want to delete DC4, I come here, I delete it, and I delete everything that's inside it in one click. So I don't have to worry about it. Where does it go? So that's why when you get to this step, you have to click here and you have to create a subfolder under this server. Keep in mind that make the name of this VM here the same as the folder, so that way it will be easier for you to track it, easier for your work to track it. So this one, I'm going to call it fresh PC or BC. Well, I have BC1, BC2, BC3, BC4. I call it BC5. So I'm creating a new folder here, BC5. So I'll copy this. I'll put it here. I'll put it here. So all of these should be in the same folder. So I will give myself out of the headache, one folder, everything inside. Next, even this one, I'll put the same folder. So everything related to that imported VM will be in the same subfolder of the VMs. I click next. Importing will take few seconds and it will be done. And the VMs will be there. You'll double click on it. It will start working right away. If you want to change any of the settings, you can easily change the settings after that. It will be treated as a separate VM or a brand new VM. So I'll just wait for it to import and we'll be back. It's done. Good. So once it's done, I will get it here. It's called PC Master. You see? I will right click on that. I'll go to rename and I'll name it BC5. So now I have it as BC5 in here. And I can right click on it, change settings. I might go change the size of the RAM if I have to. I might go change the network adapter. I might go disable the checkpoints. I might check what I need to do. And once I'm done, everything is fine. I'm okay with that. Now, if I go to the C drive, If I go to the VM folder, if I go to DC5, oh sorry, BC5, everything I need about that VM is in that folder, and you can see the size of that VM is about 10 gig. Good. So if you keep creating them and dumping them and you don't know where they are, soon your hard disk will be full. You cannot delete them anymore. Good. So it's ready, and double click on it. It's up and running. Good. I can use it. You have to keep in mind one thing very important. If you imported the same machine 5 times or 6 times or 7 times, what will happen is the 5 machine will have the same file name, computer name. So it's better if you change the computer name as soon as you import it. If you are planning to import it multiple times and you are planning not to join into the domain, because remember when we join into the domain, anyway we change the name. So that's no problem with that. But I'm talking about if you want to import PC1, PC2, PC3, and just keep them like this, sitting there. So they will all have the same name because they are imported from the same machine.